gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous morning. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. It's chilly in temperature, but the sky is blue and the sun is shining. The sun is rising for a change. Good morning. It's been a while since I've been on, so I thought I'd come in and check in. Just let everybody know what I've been up to. It's been a crazy, crazy couple of weeks, actually, in a good way, a really good way. Good morning. A little dressed up today, sort of. I'm headed off for jury duty. So if I get selected in the civil case, this morning is jury selection. If I get selected, then I stay for 2 weeks. So my boss is aware. I get full salary while I'm off. I work at a wonderful place that has a great union that would allow me to be away for 2 weeks to do my civic duty as a juror and get my full pay. So a lot of people don't have that luxury. So I feel that it's my responsibility to take that task on because some people can't. So here I am on my way at very early in the morning than I'm used to, heading for jury duty. So that doesn't mean to say that I'll be selected, but I'm there for selection in the morning. And then after that, they announce who's staying. And we stay that day, and it continues for approximately 2 weeks is what I was told. So yeah, so jury duty. So I always wanted to sit on a jury. I believe in the process and the system. So I'm very much value the concept of fairness. And sorry, I can't read the chat. I'm driving, so I'm just going to carry on here. So anyways, whoever's here, good morning. Good to see you. So I believe in fairness and impartiality when it comes to justice, the justice system, and I'm a big fan of the justice system and a juror process. So I definitely am a good candidate for it because I would believe in hearing all the facts before a decision is made. Despite my own personal biases, hopefully would be able to put those aside and rule in favor of whatever I believe to be truth with others. So that's something I've always wanted to participate in. So when I got the letter, I definitely jumped on it right away. And there are ways to get out of jury duty. I don't really qualify on paper, but if there are hardships, they can be argued. So anyways, I didn't even think that. So there's quite a list of criteria for that. So anyways, I am excited to do this. And it's interesting because I just came up against the tail end of Canada is our federal election. The election day is next Monday. Today is Monday. Today is Tuesday. And election day is next Monday. So I just participated in 4 days of advanced polling. So we've had millions of voters voting ahead of time over the 4-day period, and I volunteered through my political party as they call it a candidate's representative. They used to call them scrutineer. They changed the language. And so we attend the election polls and observe and make sure everything's being done fairly, and we get information from we can take photos of the end results of the day, the numbers basically, and then email those into the party so that the campaign manager likes to see the numbers of people turning out and where they're from. It's pure numbers, it's not people's names, so that they know where in the remaining week of the lead up to the election where to focus our door-to-door efforts and in terms of reaching voters to get out and vote. So We're having, actually, this is so exciting. We have record numbers of voting in Canada right now. Day one of advanced polling was a record breaker of all time. So on one hand, our population is higher than it's ever been. I think we're pushing 40 million. So that's a factor. There's going to be more just pure volume. But I think turnout at day one of advanced polling, like advanced early voting is what they call it, advanced polling. And that was a record number. So in terms of being a fan of democracy, that's very exciting to me. So my role at the polls was to observe the process of Elections Canada, which is a federal government department, and they administer the federal elections. And so my role was to observe what they do and make sure they're doing everything right. And then we have the right to watch certain things happening and question them. So without getting into too much detail on that, I have a process-driven brain from my career training. So I did notice issues with the process and how the people doing the elections at each of the polling stations, the ballot boxes, they didn't get sufficient training in my view. So they were unsure of things, and it was a little rocky in the beginning. So I was able to speak up and, ask the supervisors on site to reel that in and get it fixed up fast, which they did. I wasn't there to judge or criticize per se, but I was there to ensure that the democratic process was being followed correctly for fairness. And then we watch out for any ways that people can possibly cheat. So that, once the 4 days was over and all the little issues were corrected, I can confidently say that our elections are A+ in terms of fairness and checking and double checking and triple checking and any possible way that somebody could cheat in an election in this particular process that they're using now federally is 100% safe in terms of security and trustworthiness. So that was a relief. I've never participated. Well, I participated in our provincial elections in the fall and observed, and they were using the tabulator machines, which were amazing because number one, they're not connected to the internet. The power is plugged into the wall, and that is it. There is no internet connectivity, no network connectivity. So the numbers come off the machine, they go onto paper, and they get called into offices. And the paperwork sent in. So people think that there's cheating in Canada with the machines. No, that's impossible, and I witnessed it for myself. And believe me, if there was any suspicion whatsoever, I would have been all over it. Straight to Ottawa, or straight to Victoria for the provincial election, and in a federal case, it would have been Ottawa. So I do have a report that I wrote up on the federal election advanced polls that I just attended for 4 days, and ways that they can improve. So I'm very, very comfortable with the safety of the process and the security of the process and the fairness of the process. But I think that there's room for improvement. And that's just my training, that years and years of doing what I do has prepared me for that kind of observation. So yeah, I'm happy about that I could be of service to my country and provide that feedback. So basically that's my idea of service. Nerdy, I know. So anyways, so that was good. It was tough because it was early mornings and late nights. So I didn't stay all day in between, but I was there when they opened the polls, and I was there when they closed the polls. Every night they seal the ballot boxes with like these stickers that block the little slot where the vote goes in, and they seal it and people sign it, and that was all taking place. So I actually, in my disputes of the process that was being followed incorrectly at times, I learned. So I went home that night and studied the Elections Act, which is the most nerdy thing you can imagine, but I'm up for that because, hello, it's Heather, I'm a nerd, big time. So I went home and studied the Canada Elections Act for hours on end, actually, and learned it inside out. So I think, I should probably just go work there because, I'm already trained. So it's funny because I'm who does that? Nobody but me and a few others maybe in the world. But I find it interesting. I think it's important, and I love history. I love how it came to be. So there's a reason for it. People always criticize red tape. Well, guess why we have red tape? It's because people cheat and steal and plunder our systems, and we have to build in extra steps and processes to stop people from cheating. You know, no one likes red tape, but it's there for a reason. And if you don't like it and you're criticizing it, just ask somebody, why do you do that? Why is it taking me 6 weeks to get this simple thing done? Well, trust me, there's a reason. So and it's a good one to protect you. So I'm sensitive to government criticism, but I'm also not saying it's perfect. It's definitely could always improve. Let's put it that way. So there's some rules are dumb for sure if they are not thought through properly, in my view. So yeah, it's just you can't have perfection in anything. When you have a community, there's always going to be criticism. So, but I'm a fan of democracy, and we need these rules in place to ensure that it's, oh my goodness, quick stop with my van. Guy in front of me slammed on his brakes. That doesn't help me very much. So I am 100% driving. I don't know who's in the chat here, so I'm very safe. Don't worry. Let's see. Yeah, so I've been doing the voting. Election night is next week, 6 days from now. So I'm probably going to be door-to-door, knocking door-to-door, as much as I'm in court probably for 8 hours a day at least, and traveling to and from. When I'm not there, I'm going to be door-to-door with people to get this party elected. This election is an election of my lifetime. I saved my voter card because I believe it's a memento of one of the most serious elections of my lifetime. I believe that if a certain party wins, that we're at great risk of being absorbed into the United States, and with little resistance, and a whole lot of other things could happen. So I'm shocked with all the discussion of elections this last few days with the work I've been doing, and how little people know about what they're voting for, and how much they believe what they're voting for is something that it's not, and how misinformed they are, and they're believing false information. That's very alarming to me. We've watched it happen in the rest of the world, in other countries, especially the US, and I can't believe it's happening here, and people really, really are truly ignorant of what they're voting for. And it hurts my heart, because I know that we share values and they're good people. It's just, wow, yeah, it's hard to take, because, another point I make is that when yeah, you can slide forward so we can all go. Traffic. How people vote affects other people's lives. And when a certain party wins in my country, healthcare employees get things like 15% wage rollbacks. And I've experienced it 3 times in my career. Oh no, the traffic's backed up this far. This is not good. Yikes. Uh-oh, because I left home early, but if it's backed up this far, I'm in trouble getting there on time. I left way early because I didn't want to be late. I haven't commuted during rush hour for years. So this is really different, being out at this time of day. I never go out this time of day. I'm usually at my desk by now. So anyways, this is really slow. This is not good. Yikes. Okay, well, I have lots of time, but we'll see. Oh, I see. It's just someone was turning. Okay, good. We're good, guys. I can make it to court in time. So anyone just joining, I'm headed to court for jury duty. So very happily participate in that democratic process and experience it in my lifetime. So that's good. It's a civil case. I don't know if that means boring or not, but we'll see. You never know. Could be a hot one. So I hope so, just to keep it interesting, because I get bored easily, and I don't want to be bored today and sit there for 8 hours a day for 2 weeks being bored to tears. So anyways, and then something really fun happened the other day that I want to share. I was out with my my candidate, the lady that's running for office in my region. I was with her doing community events as she's campaigning. So we went to an Easter egg hunt, and she met the community and introduced herself, and people had questions for her and what she would represent as a member of parliament. Anyways, so we were there, and then we went up to one of the grocery stores in town, and we stood at the door, and she greeted people and handed them her pamphlet, and gave them the opportunity to meet her and all that. So I was with her because we like to partner with her and support her while she's doing these things. And so we're standing there, and this guy, I was in a really good mood, and I'm kind of flirty sometimes. So older guy, I don't know, I say older, we'll just say older, white hair, the whole thing. And he was really snazzy. He looked really good. He was kind of dressed up, but he had a rocker look about him. So I said, as he approached us at the door, I said, "Hey, you look like an old retired rock star." And I smiled, and then he kind of slightly smiled. It wasn't like, he's like just normal, I guess. And then I said, Anna's here. Would you like to meet her? She's meeting her community. And he just shook his head, didn't say a word the whole time at all, and went into the store. And then when he came out, he walks past me, and then he starts to walk across the parking lot. He turns around, and I heard him say Seeger. So I was just, okay, I didn't quite understand. I couldn't quite hear him. And then I realized later what it was that he said. And then, a couple minutes later, he drove by in his truck, a big, fancy ass, like beautiful pickup truck, and drives past, and he yells out the window, "Silver Bullet Band." That's what I heard. And I'm like, oh. I went like this, and I pointed, and I said, "Oh," but it wasn't clicking yet. Silver Bullet Band. I know it's a famous band. I couldn't quite place it in the moment because my brain doesn't work anymore, so I don't remember anything. 20 years ago, I would have known who that was instantly, but anyways, I couldn't place it. So then later that night, I was at home, and I remembered, and so I went and Googled the Silver Bullet Band. I knew they were famous and they had hits, whoever they were. I thought they were Canadian, actually, for some reason, because he's in Canada. So I Googled it, Bob Seger. It was freaking Bob Seger, and I looked up pictures of him today, and it was him. I'm like, holy shit, I called Bob Seger an old retired rock star to his face. So funny. Sometimes when I'm brave, like, things like that happen, and it's just amusing. Like, amusing things happen when I'm kind of flirty with the public. And I do that with women too. We're just kind of like, teasing people in a good way. And anyway, so I flirted with Bob Seger. Yeah, he was wearing this kind of a, paisley shirts that guys wear. Like, they're dress shirts, but they're paisley, so you can tell they're kind of, they're not square. They're kind of got the edge, So anyways, it wasn't paisley, I don't think, but it was something like that kind of a long sleeve button-up shirt. And he was wearing jeans. He looked like a bit of a biker. Like, he had rocker hair. His hair's a little bit long. Like, it's not like barbershop cut style hair. It's like rocker hair. But it's all totally gray, and it was just so neat, like, to, and he's probably like chuckling. He probably gets that every single day of his life. Like, you look familiar, or, some people would know who he is because they're huge fans. But I went and listened to all his songs. Hi, Krista. Good to see you. So I just glanced down at a light here so I can see for a second who's here. So anyways, yeah, so it was really fun. So I spent hours listening to Bob Seger songs, and he has a lot of hits. Like, you don't realize what the hits are until you go through like that, and it's like one after the other, after the other, after the other. Turn the Page, I think, might be one of my favorites. I remember Metallica did a cover of that song. It's so good. I've listened to it over and over again the last few days just because it reminded me how much I love that song. So anyways, yeah, so that was fun. And so, yeah, I'm just knee deep in all this. I was going through all my videos from last year from the Scientology protesting, and I got rattled by watching myself. Actually, there were a couple videos, and my speed, things I said and the way I behaved were, I didn't like. So for the most part, I really enjoyed watching myself and I didn't have a problem with it, but there were a couple things and it just shook me, so I took them down and I had to pull back a bit because it's character, it's behavior I don't like. So I didn't know I did it. So it's interesting self-reflection. So I need to regroup on that. I'm going to put videos up and I may watch them with you, but some won't go up because I'm not happy with. I'm just going to learn from the behaviors and do better, but I'm not necessarily going to put the video. I'm not happy and comfortable with that. It just is what it is, and I know some may disagree. Oh, that's a red light. Some may disagree, but it's not forgivable. I just don't like what I saw, and it wasn't all that long ago. So I needed a chance to change, and just seeing myself. It's such an interesting experience. I hope everybody gets a chance one day to do the same kind of thing, or to self-observe like this, because I have hours and hours and hours of video of myself, and a lot of it, I see how people may see me, and it's shocking because that's not how it's intended, and it comes out a certain way. Oh, I should have parked in there because there's lots. Oh wait, no, that's too far from the courthouse. I'm headed to the courthouse for jury duty. Anyone just joining? So I was worried about parking because my van can't go into a parkade. I can't fit, so I have to find a parking lot. Luckily, they're paying for parking, so that's good. Yeah, so those videos will continue to be posted. Most of them are good. It's nothing serious. It's just, I come off as arrogant sometimes, or braggy, and I don't like that. That's not me, really. I've worked hard on confidence and feeling good about myself. So to come off that way, it's false. It's not who I am. So anyways, I'm just trying to figure out why I say things that way, or why it's coming across that way. And then try to make a serious adjustment, because I think it's probably something that throws a lot of people off. And I always wondered why. So now I can make a correction, and that's really healthy. I think like I can be comfortable that I'm not perfect, and I hope this is public parking here, because if it is, it's right beside the courthouse and it's gold. It's perfect, and I'm way early. So paid parking, City Hall lot, 2 hour city customer stalls, Monday to Friday so 2 hours won't do it. 2 hours won't do it. Crap. 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. staff. 2 hours. Oh no. On the weekends it's full time, like it's empty in here, and I can always pay here. I need an 8 hour. Darn it. Anyways, this is all gonna be staff right in here. I knew I might have to drive around to find parking. I don't think my paperwork recommended parking spots anywhere. So there's a cop up there. I might ask them if they have any ideas for me. There is another lot over there. This sucks. Oh, there's a bylaw. Hello? Hello? I have jury duty. Do you know where the best place to park? Because it might be 8 hours. Because I can't go into a parkade, so.
That's fair.
This is 2 hours, so this would have been nice because it's right beside the courthouse, but yeah.
So either here or Prospera.
Yeah. Oh, Prospera's open to the public during the
Yeah,
day?
you can park there.
Yeah, they're paying for parking, so I don't care how much it is.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, where's the courthouse? Is it this building or over that way? Oh, yeah, okay.
You'll see me there too.
Oh, yeah? Okay, thank you. Bylaw officer, she said she'll be at the courthouse too. I could have done those sorts of law enforcement jobs too. I'm that kind of woman. Yeah, I kind of had to assert myself, shall we say, at the at the election process, at the advanced polls, the election place, I guess, the polling station. There were some some processes weren't being followed correctly, and like it's not my job to teach anyone anything, but it is my job to find things that aren't being done correctly. And we had some people not happy with me because I pointed out their mistakes. Not the staff, but more the supervisor manager. So it was really, so I'm not going to talk about that yet, but I'm glad I was there, we'll put it that way. So, yeah. And I was nothing but pleasant the whole time. So that's the good news. Always. I start pleasant, but if I'm disrespected, that might turn. So it started to turn. I actually offered to be arrested at one point because they wanted me to leave, and I said no. And I took 5 minutes. I asked for 5 minutes to look up the point in the law that I was making. I'm using the law to go from. And the law had my back, so I decided I was willing to stay and risk being arrested. So without being dramatic, it wasn't like that. I was very calm. And yeah, this is good. Okay, this parking lot is wide open. Oh, did I want to go in here? Pay there. Okay. I'll park right here so I can pay the little scanning little QR code so I can pay for my parking. And then they pay for it, which is nice. So if this is $20 a day, they pay. They should pay. I'm here this is volunteer work. So I have lots of time to talk to you guys for a minute. Okay, so yeah. So I did, I was willing, so I asked him what happens if I don't leave, because I have the right to witness what was going to happen next. And he said that he would rather us not explore that possibility. And I said, well, I'm willing to, I need 5 minutes to look it up. And I said, if what I think is true and that legally this is supposed to happen, that I'm allowed to be here and I'm allowed to initial what's about to happen, then I'm willing for you to call for help, like police, to arrest me. I'm willing to be arrested for this. And that's part of being an activist, is being willing to be arrested if you know you're right. I have to be right. I'm not willing to get arrested if I'm pushing the boundaries. I'm willing to be arrested if I am absolutely right in the eyes of the law. So that's the difference between me and other activists. I have dogs that are like kids to me, and I have a career and a really good life that I've built for myself. So I'm not going to risk that for frivolous reasons of getting arrested, just to make a point. So I'll get arrested if I'm right in the law, because then there's no risk of going to jail, right? I don't think if the police had shown up on site, they would have even arrested me. They wouldn't have. And I'm pretty sure that the guy would have backed down. And it turns out that the thing that I wanted to do and participate in was, he would have seen it, because the paperwork actually explicit that I hadn't seen yet. I only knew about it from the law. Once I saw it, it's clearly stated. It had a spot for me to sign. So I was so right. I was very right. And it's the most important part of that job, scrutineering, if anyone's ever done it for elections. If anyone's interested in the electoral process, especially in Canada, because that's what I know now. I spent hours this week studying the Elections Act, and I know the legislation like the back of my hand. Nerd, I know. But if you're interested and you want to know the full story of what I'm trying to be vague, because I don't want anyone to be concerned about the electoral process, because there is zero chance. You love Bob Seger, me too. He's so freaking good. And to have that experience with him, he's probably chuckling just like I am, like afterwards. But anyways, yeah. So this was really good. So if anyone is interested in the full story of what I experienced, please reach out and I will share it with you in full. It's just interesting. But what I don't want to do is plant any seeds of doubt in the process. I can promise you, and because I was there, I'm qualified and not qualified, but I have the right to say that our electoral process in Canada is solid. Solid. So even if I hadn't been there, they still have checks and balances times 3 or times 5 for each of the steps that they follow up with after. So I think what I offered maybe only just gave them, it helped them save hours and hours of work at the end of the day, because they have to reconcile all their numbers. And if they don't all reconcile, they have to stay there all night till they do. So I think the next day, day 2, the staff were actually really nice to me, because they knew some of them had to stay later because of some things then to fix it all. So they learned the hard way, basically. And they were grateful to me and expressed it, that, you know, you were right. And that's, now we see, because I was saying to them, trust me, if you don't fix this now, you're going to be here late. You might be here till 3 in the morning or whatever. So then the next day I show up and they're all like, oh, hi, Heather. Like, yeah, you're right. And then some of them did have to stay and blah, blah, blah. So it's not as if the system fell apart. It's that the system will fix itself. It's just, it might take them longer. So I was pointing out the problems like right away, because I didn't even know the process, but my brain is very logical. So I was able to see it like stick out like a sore thumb. So yeah, you can vote with a pen. You show up with your own pen. They provide a pencil, but if they provide pens, people take them. I'm not joking. So you can bring a pen, yes, absolutely. So the votes cannot be erased, even like they provide the pencil, but you can't erase them just by the way that they seal up the boxes and they store them. So I learned all that, and trust me, even if you use pencil, it's 100% safe. And when the boxes are opened, election night, next Monday night, the boxes will be opened. I'm going to be there as a scrutineer, a party representative. We're allowed to be there legally. We're not allowed to touch ballots physically, period, ever. It's serious. I'd be tackled if I did. It's very serious. But anyways, we can watch every single ballot box being opened, and they count them by hand. So yeah, it will absolutely count. And if you're more comfortable voting with a pen, do it. Do whatever makes you comfortable. You can use a felt pen. You can use a crayon. You can use a whatever you want, a Sharpie, whatever. They provide a pencil because they have to provide something. And people walk off with anything that's not like a pencil stub, you know. That's all. That's the only reason they do that. They have to provide something, because who carries a pen nowadays? You know, I don't even carry a purse anymore. So yeah, so it's pretty exciting, and we have record turnout. There's millions more voters just in the last 4 days than in all of history, which is absolute. And there's a reason for that, because this election is really freaking hot. So before you vote, make sure you know what you're voting for. Look at all sides, because there's some shocking things happening. If you want opinions on who to vote for, please contact me privately. I'm not going to do that here, but I can absolutely guarantee that there's some shady shit going on, and it does involve Trump, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. But we have 3 parties on the left, 3 progressive parties, and 1 right-wing party. So that's a problem for us, and it's an uphill battle. I went to the debate, and all 3 of those left-leaning parties were saying amazing things I love. There is such thing as too far left and too far right, and I'm more of a centrist, because I am a gray area kind of person. Some things in life are black and white. My party is going to crack down on child abuse and certain things, like the punishments for those things. Finally, after decades of telling them they need to do so, they're finally going to do it. The newest candidate, he's new to the arena, and he's going to do that. He's stated it blatantly. It's one of the things about, like, I'm very, very liberal in terms of the justice system, but when it comes to certain things, like certain types of child abuse, and throw the frickin' book at them. And I'm borderline, like I'm against the death penalty, but on some things I'm borderline on that, trust me. So that's good news for me. My party has changed with new fresh blood, and saying really good economic things that are finally being addressed, but those economic things build in environmental things with it. And it's like, holy smokes, they're all melding together. This guy's bringing it all together. So people on both sides of that center line can be satisfied. It's very refreshing. I haven't been this excited in a long time. I'm pretty sure that this person will win as Prime Minister of Canada. And I think this may be my favorite prime minister, because at this point I wouldn't be able to decide. But I think if he is what I think he is, and he continues with what he's saying, there's the point, then he will be my favorite prime minister, because he brings in all sides of everything into one common sense. And he's the most, he's very beloved in every high level position he's ever held all over the world. He's an internationally known person that is loved by people all over the world, that begged him not to leave their country because he's so good. So the criticism is from a teeny weeny tiny little portion of people that are extremists that didn't like some of the stuff he did. So when you research your candidate, make sure you know everything. Research their platform, research the criticism of them from the past, and research the arguments against the criticism. And do that for all parties, okay? So you get the full picture, because you can read something, anything can be made to sound good. So don't just go with something you heard that they used big words, it sounds good, it seems to match your heart, like your own values. But they can twist anything, and they hide things. Like, some people are ultra religious and want to bring those religious values into government. And it's critical in order for democracy to work that the separation of church and state be separated. It's crucial. Otherwise, you have like the Vatican running the world type of thing. And we have a history in the world of human beings doing that. So where the church ran things, we can't have that. Democracy eliminated that. So the fact that I'm not swearing on a Bible today, for example, when I'm sworn in as a juror, because I can't swear to the Bible, because the Bible doesn't, I would have to swear to, I don't know what the option's going to be, but I'm going to ask. I'd be lying. If I swore to the Bible, I would be lying. Because it wouldn't be a true, I can't swear to the Bible because I don't believe in the Bible. I mean, I don't disbelieve in the Bible, but it's not something I can swear to. Okay, I'm gonna I gotta walk because my time is ticking here. I'll take my sheet. I didn't even put makeup on, you guys. I had to put on nice clothes, but I am super tired, so I didn't put makeup on. Didn't matter. I don't need to look good today. They don't need me to look good. Okay, so, oh shoot, I gotta pay for parking too. I didn't do that. I gotta go. I do have to let you go because I need my phone to pay for parking. So anyways, I'll check in later and let you know how this went on my way home. Later. I don't know if it'll be 8 hours or 2 hours. It depends if they select me. Anyways, thank you. My glasses, yeah, I have a bunch of them. So I'm gonna let you know how it went, and I will check the chat later too, because I think I haven't read you guys at all, but I do have to go. So I'll talk to you soon. I miss you. See you soon. Bye.